What is up, YouTube? It's VyPr Sports here, and today I'm doing the second part of my 2019 NFL mock draft. If you didn't watch the first part, it is going to be the first link down in the description. In this video, we'll be going through picks 9 through 16. So without further ado, let's get into it. With the 9th pick in the 2019 NFL draft, the Buffalo Bills will select Ed Oliver, defensive tackle out of Houston. The Buffalo Bills' defensive line last year wasn't really that good, and with Kyle Williams retiring, it just got even worse. Ed Oliver is definitely a very talented defensive tackle who, in almost any other year in my opinion, would probably be a top 5 pick, or potentially would be. I think because this year has so many great defensive talents, someone is going to get a steal, and I think the Buffalo Bills could definitely be that team, getting Ed Oliver at number 9. The Bills' defense as a whole is actually pretty good. They have some pretty good safeties in Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, a very good cornerback in Tre'Davious White, some pretty good linebackers in Lorenzo Alexander, Matt Milano, and Tremaine Edmonds, but no one really too great on their defensive line. If they get Ed Oliver, they would definitely be getting a great defensive tackle who they could build their defense around for years to come. With the 10th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos will select Dwayne Haskins, quarterback out of The Ohio State University. The Broncos haven't really put much into their quarterback position, and it's really shown. Brock Osweiler didn't really turn out as they thought. Neither did Paxton Lynch or Trevor Siemian. Case Keenum was a bad signing, and they finally traded for Joe Flacco, who I think has a maximum of 2 years on this team. They need a young quarterback, and Dwayne Haskins is the perfect player for this team. They really just need a quarterback who can learn from an experienced player like Joe Flacco, who does have a Super Bowl ring, but will be ready to play in about a year or two, and I think Dwayne Haskins could definitely be this player for the Denver Broncos. They need to draft a quarterback, and I think Haskins is the pick here. The Cincinnati Bengals have the 11th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, and I have them selecting Montez Sweat, edge rusher out of Mississippi State. The Bengals need an edge rusher. They cut Vontaze Burfict because of the many suspensions he's gotten because of his hits, and Carlos Dunlap isn't really the rusher that he was a few years ago, and Geno Atkins is also getting a bit older as well. With their new coaching staff, the Bengals could definitely take an interesting route in drafting Montez Sweat. Sweat is a very talented edge rusher, and he's very fast, something that a lot of opposing offenses would have a hard time defending. Sweat would be a great pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. They need some defensive rushing talent, and he would definitely make a great addition to this team. With the 12th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers will select Brian Burns out of Florida State. The Packers have definitely improved their defense a lot more this offseason than they have in previous years, adding Zadarius Smith and Adrian Amos. And with this pick, they're going to add another great defensive talent. While Brian Burns definitely might need to get a bit bigger to be successful at the NFL level, he has the speed and definitely has a lot of potential. This is a pick solely or primarily based off of potential, but it is there, so that's why I think they're going to draft him at number 12. With the 13th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins will select Drew Lock, the quarterback out of Missouri. Quarterback is by far the biggest need for the Miami Dolphins. They traded Ryan Tannehill to the Tennessee Titans and signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, who really isn't a starting quarterback at this stage in his career. Drew Lock definitely could learn a bit from Fitzpatrick, but also has the potential to be a young starter. As of right now, the Dolphins really just need a quarterback. That's their biggest positional need, and although there are some very good defensive players still on the board, it's what they need and what I think they're going to go with. With the 14th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons will select Andre Dillard, offensive tackle out of Washington State. After cutting Ryan Schrader, one of their offensive tackles, the Falcons need another player at this position, and Dillard is a great talent who could definitely fill in for Ryan Schrader. As of right now, I think that is the pick they should go with at 14. The Washington Redskins have the 15th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, and I have them selecting TJ Hawkinson, tight end out of Iowa. This might seem like a bit of a strange pick given that they have Jordan Reed and Vernon Davis, but it does make a little bit of sense, so hear me out. Jordan Reed is a great tight end, but he just really can't stay healthy. And Vernon Davis as a backup is pretty good, but he's getting a lot older and will retire within a few years. Hawkinson is a great tight end to take over for these guys. He has the speed and size to be a George Kittle-like talent, and Kittle had an amazing year last year with the San Francisco 49ers, so it would be a welcome addition to the Washington Redskins. While there may be a lot of people saying that the Redskins need to take a quarterback, I don't see Daniel Jones being a first-round pick quarterback. I would prefer the Redskins to try to select him in the second round, or if they can't, go for a guy like Will Grier, who has a lot of potential. Case Keenum is an okay quarterback to have, not necessarily the best, but also not the worst, and Adrian Peterson at running back still has some gas left in the tank. TJ Hawkinson would be a great addition to the Washington Redskins, who they could definitely build their passing offense around for many years to come. And finally, with the last pick in this video, the 16th pick, the Carolina Panthers will select Cody Ford, offensive guard out of Oklahoma. Guard is really one of the bigger gaps that the Carolina Panthers have right now. They lost Andrew Norwell in free agency last year, and while they do have some pretty good tackles and signed Matt Paradis, the former Denver Broncos center, they don't really have a guard. They need someone to fill in that role to help block for Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey, and I think Cody Ford is by far the best guard in this draft class, so they'll select him with the 16th pick. So that was part 2 of my 2019 NFL mock draft. Once again, if you have not seen part 1 yet, the link is down in the description, and part 3 will be posted next weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts, and subscribe if you're new. This has been VyPr Sports, and I will see you in the next video.